Hey friends, it's Kel's Creation Station. My name is Kelly. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome. And my channel has just become a hodgepodge of everything that brings me joy in life. And one of those things, very top high on the list, is miniatures. So today I want to share a project that I just finished lately and couldn't think of a creative name for it. So we're just going to call it My Little Tiny Mice Village Under Attack. So this is kind of the feel for it though. There's like reds and it's dark and it's nighttime. So I got this. This is like a canvasy material. I got this on Temu. It came in a pack of 3. I used the other 2 on the inside of the box. So I'll spin it around in a moment, but I just attached it to the cardboard to make the walls. So allow me to just spin it. And here it is. So these are the other 2 canvas. They were like 16 by 12, but they were too tall. So I did cut down these. You're supposed to like frame them, but they were only a couple bucks. So they were perfect for my needs. So let me zoom you in a smidge just to show you my little mice village. And these are the star of the show. These are the mice. And I got these mice on Temu as well. And they came in a pack of 5. I painted them. It took me a while to paint. It took me probably 2 hours to paint all 5 of these little mice. That one had a sword. This guy has a shield. I didn't glue them down because I want to be able to touch them, move them about. This guy has a bow and arrow. He's really cute. And what do we got? Yeah, they were all gray and I had to paint them with the tiniest little brushes that you ever did see. This guy has 2 knives. Hi-ya! Love him. Put him up on a rock. Okay, this is the paint I used though. It's called Model Color Set for like little model, grayscale model pieces. And this paint worked really well. It dries pretty quick, which is kind of like necessary when you're working so tiny. This is another like little model pieces that I got from Temu as well. Is, let me move this light in. Is this little, drunk guy. So he came separate from the bench, but I did glue him down. It came with 2 benches and not separate, it came all together, but you could pick him up and I glued his bum down. And we have the table and him. So in my village, it's just the mice getting along with the humans. And the humans say, okay, mice, you are the warriors. Go defeat these spiders. That's what they're fighting. And he says, raise a glass, because it could be our last night. We're under attack. So let me take you about. So these are actually made from baby food jars, the little buildings. So what I did was, see how it unscrews? I just cut out a hole on the bottom for the lid of the jar. Insert a tea light right in there. And we'll see if you can see it flicker. I'll insert a clip at the end of it, like really, really glowing because it's pretty bright in here. You can't really see. But this is just the baby food jar. I turned it upside down and put a clay mushroom roof and a clay door. And then it's red tissue paper on the sides, covered in Mod Podge. So it glows like a cool orange when you can see it flickering maybe. No, too bright. Yeah, I'll insert a clip of it when it's dark. So I'll show you each house. These were really fun to make. Yeah, save your jars, people. Save like little things like that because you can make all types of things. And glass is really fun. You can bake polymer clay with glass in the oven. Here's the clay I used for this, for the roofs is gray, but I painted it in that metallic paints again. And then I think the doors, yeah, this was colored clay, like black clay, brown clay, red clay, etc. Added a little lantern to that one. And you only have to do like a quarter turn and they stay like very secure. on their little lids. And here's the third house. I put a lot of like moss on top of this one because he is situated right underneath of my tree. So he gets a lot of debris that falls off. And that's something that I did on the ground too. I just put like moss all around. There's wind blowing. It's a very intense war situation. And then also I did blood splatters. I hope you can see that. You'll be able to see it more when I show it, maybe in the ending clip. But there's like blood splatters, and I just used like UV resin for that. I just mixed it with a little bit of red and brown until it looked like a blood color to me. And I just dabbed it on there with like a little stick, and I hit it with the UV light, and it looks wet. It looks just like a blood splatter to me. That was like so fun to do. That was one of my favorite aspects to make. Oh, and I loved making the cemetery, which is back here in the corner. And I loved making the fence. So all the tombstones and those tree trunks are made from clay. And then I just put like dead moss around. But the fence is made from popsicle sticks, and it was so fun to do. I don't know why, but I'm pretty obsessed with that fence. You just cut up popsicle sticks and like roughly cut them, like pull them apart and stuff so that they're like jagged looking, and you know, glue them with some wood glue, glue them all crooked, paint it all funny, and you got yourself an old looking fence. And I don't know why, I just love that fence for some reason. Here's my snake. The snake is also made of clay. He was pretty cute and fun to do. I don't know, he's like their statue mascot, I guess. He's just there. And whatever else. Oh, the well. I loved making this well. I wish I didn't glue it down because I really want to touch it. I want to hold it. But this is matchsticks. There's a little bead in there for the bucket. And then this is just paper that I cut to look like a roof. And the trees are just, you know, clay for the trunk. And I just mushed the red paint around in the moss and glued that on top. So I do have each like house labeled. So this one says Gamble, this one says Bar, and then this one you might not be able to see. It says Girls. I was like, what are some, you know, what are some deadly sins that these buildings could be, you know? So I think that's pretty much it, except for the tree. So the tree over here is made from foil. I just twisted it up to look like bark, and I painted it with a couple different gold metallics, and then I just painted some more moss and made that for the top of the tree. I added some black clay mushrooms, which was fun, and then the tree also lights up. Let's see, there. So I'll show a clip of it all lit up, but this was so fun. This was definitely like micro miniatures. Like these guys are teeny weeny, okay? Like to paint these, it took me a while. You really have to take your time, but very fun. I want to make more, and all right, toodaloo. Okay, so before I show it all lit up, I just wanted to zoom in on some like little details, like the blood splatters. I wanted to get closer up on the well here, because this is tiny, tiny. And sometimes it's just hard to show. But yeah, see how the blood looks wet? That UV resin will give you that wet look. There's my little guy there. Here's the cemetery. I tried to carve different things into the clay tombstones, like cursed. I got bye. I got 666. Okay, so now let me show you it all lit up. So here it is in a dim space. I don't have any other lights on in this room, and there's not a lot of sunlight coming through that window there yet. So
you can really see like the flickering of the little tea lights under those jars. I love the way the color is coming through. That's the red tissue paper covering this, but it's coming through orange. It's very cool. There's all nice cemetery. Snake. And the tree is pretty bright. I probably could have used a little less bright of a fairy light. But thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.